This is your sign. To everything, there is a season. Hi, welcome back to Sweet Infinity. My name is Kieran. I am on a 30-day quest where I post daily a video of me reading something from one of my tarot decks or from my oracle decks and talking about the artwork and the meaning of the card and an interpretation that I hope resonates with you too. So today I'm going to be reading from the Dream Weaver's Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. This is one of my favorite oracle decks. It's gorgeous, and it has this double-sided dragon snake eating itself. It is very much a dreamy deck. It says, "You are more than you know, meant for a magical, meaningful life." And on the back it says, "Discover the forgotten myths of the dream weavers, mystical beings who shape reality and act as our helpers from the hidden realms. The archetypes and symbolism within each oracle card will help you step into your role as a powerful co-creator on your epic journey of evolution and self-discovery. You will remember that you are a powerful dream weaver too, weaving your own hopes and dreams, manifesting your desires into the fabric of reality." I'll read from the book as well. Let's do a shuffle. And while I do that, I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment. Just let me know anything about your dream life. Do you have the same dream over and over? Or do you sometimes have dreams that make no sense? Or do you sometimes have dreams that you are awake in, what's called lucid dreaming? I'd love to hear from you and love to hear about your dreams. And please share and like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get notified every time I put out a new video. Okay, let's see what card comes up today. Today I got Underneath the Lizard's Skin. Underneath the lizard skin. All right, let's find it in the guidebook here. Okay. Underneath the lizard skin, essential meaning, shedding the skin of the past, temporary vulnerability as you process something new, releasing resistance to change. There is only one constant in life, and that is change. We are not always aware of how things evolve within us. Sometimes the process is slow and organic, while other times its rapid pace is unnerving. This is the state you find yourself in now, the swift peeling away of the layers of your life that no longer serve you or protect you. Be willing to let go of everything you know that impedes your progress. Those things you need to release are hindering that flexibility you need to be in the world. You feel resistant to what is still new and unknowable, but you have nothing to fear. When a lizard sheds its old scales, there is new, healthy skin waiting just underneath the surface. The tender pink skin hardens quickly as you release the old to make way for growth and new life. You need space to breathe and stretch and grow as nature intended. You have been wanting a new life, a new version of yourself, and you are evolving to meet that self. Be present to this new time of discovery. This is a sacred experience that is woven into your destiny. Your soul knows the beauty that is waiting for you. Underneath the lizard skin is a sign for you to trust the process of your own magical discovery. Who are you becoming? The one who is not afraid of shedding the skin of the past to embrace the dream of the future. Underneath the lizard skin. Did you know that when lizards climb a wall, they actually fuse with the surface that they're climbing? There is something in their feet, in their toes, that actually fuses to the vertical surface that they're climbing. And that's how they're able to climb vertically and walk vertically and even stop in the middle and just stand there. I've lived in places where there were a lot of lizards, and they creep me out. But, of course, every animal and every being in the universe has a right to be there. Every human and every other creature too. And there's always a lesson the lesson of this lizard is not only that you can shed your skin and that there is new skin underneath there. Of course, not literally, but in a metaphorical sense, in a sense of a spiritual, intuitive understanding that change requires shedding something of the old. Change requires letting go of the thing that has been superseded. Change requires acceptance that things are going to have to be shifted around. And there's a pinkness to the skin when the lizard first sheds the old skin. And that pinkness can be very vulnerable. It can be scary, I'm sure, for the lizard. But it hardens and it gets used to the environment. And the other lesson I feel that I'm just getting intuitively here is about the way that the lizard uses its ability to attach itself to the surface that it's climbing for protection and for balance. So as it climbs, the little pads of the bottom of the legs of the lizard, of the feet, it gets glued on, like it becomes fused with the surface, and then it picks it up and takes another step and it fuses again. And that's how it's able to walk up vertical spots, which is interesting. When you are going through something difficult or you have a hill to climb, it may be easier if you are able to see the environment as something you can incorporate in your journey, to find a way to use the resources at your disposal and fuse with the thing that you're climbing, the thing that is in front of you. A lot of times when we come across a difficult path or a difficult problem, we want to run away from it or we want to resist it. There are times, though, that might be a better strategy to go through it, to go through the problem. There's a saying that the only way out is through. And there are times when that's how it is. Of course, there are different scenarios in life, but there are also times when you have to just kind of get through it. I feel like the lizard is a symbol of that. And also of shedding the skin and the renewal process. So sometimes you have to get through it by shedding the skin. You have to get through it by letting go of that which is no longer working. It's no longer needed. This card also has lizards in different shapes and types of lizards. I guess they're different, there's geckos, there's different types of lizards in different parts of the world, different subspecies and all that. And this card has a variety of them. And everybody's on their own journey. And that's another lesson, is that when you come across somebody else, you don't know their whole story. You don't know what else they're dealing with. You don't know if they're having a bad day. People don't act out of irrationality from the perspective that they're coming from. They're usually doing the thing that makes sense. And if you were to know their story, you would probably understand them better. I've heard a story that Mr. Rogers, who was this beloved children's TV show character personality, he used to have a little saying that he would keep in his pocket. It said, "There's nobody who you couldn't love if you knew their real story." I thought that was pretty cool. There's no one that you wouldn't love if you knew their story. I really believe that, even in difficult cases. But also just in everyday life, somebody cuts you off or something happens. Isn't it better, easier, more interesting, more relaxing to assume that the other person might have been going through something difficult and giving them some leeway? Isn't there enough fighting, hatred, conflict, division? Wouldn't it be better to just assume that the other person who may have been having a bad day, if you met them on another day in a different situation, they would have a very different response? That's something I have been learning as I get older. I was very much the kind of person who would have road rage when I was younger. But now I don't feel like that anymore. It took me a while. But now I feel like cutting people slack. Just letting them have their moment, even if I don't understand it. Of course, there are exceptions. There are times when, for one reason or another, I still get upset. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I try to remember that everybody's on their own journey and they take many different forms. I don't know everything, and that I should just be a little patient, be a little understanding, even if I don't know their story. Underneath the lizard's skin. Lizards are not everyone's favorite creature. I wouldn't say they are mine either, but there's something cool about them. And one of the things I think that is kind of disturbing is how close they are to the ground or to the surface. So they are like flat against a surface. And I think that's something that we find a little, I find a little, you know. But the lesson there is that they have their ear, whatever version of ear they have, close to the ground or the surface. They're always in touch with what's really going on with their environment. Literally, they are in touch. They fuse with their environment. And that's kind of cool, right? They're not living in any kind of illusion or self-described fantasy. No, I don't know what they're living. I'm not in their head. But the lesson for us, the spiritual lesson, is to be in touch with our environment, be present. There's something very grounding about that, especially when we're going through change, when there's change in the air. It's good to pay attention and be very, 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 very attuned to the environment that you're in, to the local neighborhood, household, community, whatever you're part of, and not just be in our head all the time. That's what I'm getting out of this. So I hope that stimulated some thoughts and feelings that might be good. You might want to journal about it. It's a good idea to journal your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. Drop me a note in the comments and just tell me, what is your favorite animal? What animal do you love? I love cats. Of course, I love cats. But I also love like llamas and alpacas. I love those guys. Kangaroos. Send me a comment and tell me, what is your favorite animal? Let's say dogs and cats. Everybody loves them, or maybe you do, or maybe besides them, besides the dogs and cats that we all presumably love. What other animals are you into? What do you like? And please share this video, send a little thumbs up, send this video to people or anyone that you think might find it interesting. Post it on your TikToks and whatevers. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to see you again. I'll be back with another card reading soon. Meanwhile, and always, take care of yourself and take care of each other.